Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today, a day that I didn't think was actually going to come, we are going to look at the Remus Repeal Reserve Batch 5 Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Now, Remus Repeal is MGP, so they release their own product. If you've been following along, this is Batch 5, the 2021 edition and release. Their first, their release 1 was released at, I think, 90 proof, and all the other releases since then have come out at 100 proof, and cannot get this anywhere in Wyoming. Could not find it in South Dakota. Could not find it pretty much anywhere. Couldn't find it online. If you did happen to find it online, it was like stupid. 200 and something dollars. I saw it as high as $300. As is, I paid enough for this. Now, the part that gets me was last year in 2021, this release was available at the Total Wines in both Madison, Wisconsin, and in Milwaukee. In Madison, it was $80. In Milwaukee, it was $68. I tried so hard. I had friends and family all with less than an hour driving distance from that store, and nobody went out of their way to pick up a bottle for me. So, frowny face on that one. I was a little bit disappointed in everybody on that one, but considering that it would not have been too much of a hassle for me. But have a really good friend in Montana that when I saw this was kind enough to pick it up for me. Made the exchange last week, paid him off for it. So thank you very much, Porter. Greatly appreciate it. And considering this is the old release, most stores are absolutely sold out of this, which is part of the reason why the price has gone so absolutely stupid. Plus, if you look at the reviews from other people from last year, absolutely raving reviews about this. And let me tell you one little reason why. So, we'll see if I can read this here in the light here. So it is a mix of bourbons that have either a 21% rye or a 36% rye mash bill in the bourbon. So it's corn, rye, and then, so what would it be? It'd be like 60% corn, that percentage of rye, and then the remaining percentage is barley. And so this is a blend of different bourbons. Now, here's the thing. So 2021 is the bottling. So here it's 9% 2005 bourbon, 5% 2006. So I'll read it. It'll say 2005, 2006, two times, whatever. The two times is because one's one mash bill, one is the other mash bill. So let me start over. 9% 2005 bourbon, 5% 2006 bourbon, 19% 2006 bourbon, 13% 2008 bourbon, and 54% 2008 bourbon. So the youngest whiskey in here is what? 2021, so 2, 10, 12, 13. So the youngest whiskey in this bottle was 13 years old last year. And then the oldest stuff at 2005 was what? 5, 15, 16 years old. Okay? And this bottle was $119.95 in Gardner, Montana. And I heard, at the time last year when this was being reviewed, I think the average price on the bottles of Remus were like $100, and then this year for the batch 6 release, people were saying that the prices had gone up and they gained a lot of notoriety due to this batch, and so prices had risen a bit along with the inflation and price of fuel and all that other crap. That now the average price was $120. So in Gardner, this batch 5 was $119.95, and the batch 6 was $101. I think it was $101 even. So a little difference in prices there, but you know what? An older vintage per se, harder to get, less available, so a little higher price. All right. So, but the pretty high age stated whiskeys in there for $120. Nothing to smear at. 100 proof. Oftentimes when you get a higher age stated whiskey, the proof is often lower, typically in the 90s, sometimes even in the 80s. So, a lot of good things going on there. If you haven't already, check out a bunch of other people's reviews on this whiskey. I was just so excited to get my hands on it. I thought I had the score because I wasn't paying attention last year. We were in Billings and I bought a bottle of the batch 2, which I have down below, which, maybe in our head to head video here, we'll do 2, 5, and 6, or maybe we'll just do 5 and 6. And then later on, we'll do 2, 5, and 6 because those are what I have. But I thought I was buying this last year because there was a bottle on the shelf and only one of it, and so I didn't even think to look for the batch number up here. If you look on the neck here, the Roman numeral there is for the batch, and ooh, smells so good. And so I kind of got taken for that one because taken. How do you get taken when you're the one who wasn't paying attention? I don't know. But it was $103 for the batch 2 that I got last year. So here we go. Ooh, it's really good. Very dense and oily on the nose. Very fruit forward, very red fruit forward, like strawberry jam almost, raspberry jam, not strawberry probably, but red fruit. I could be convinced there's some apple in there, brown sugar, like a maybe a molasses or a caramel covered apple. Caramel covered apple and raspberry jam. Just very sweet notes, both sugary sweet notes like the molasses, the caramels, honey, and then fruit sweet notes, very sweet apple, like a Honeycrisp apple covered with caramel, and then just jam, a little bit of breadiness in there. So like if you ate a Honeycrisp apple covered in caramel, then immediately ate a piece of toast with raspberry jam on it, that is what it smells like in here. You can almost pick up just a hint of oak in the back end of it, but it's very fruity, jammy forward. I mean, just delicious. If you like sweet notes, this is giving you a nose of an extremely sweet whiskey. So we'll see what it is like on the palate. Hopefully the palate matches the nose. Okay. So I'm coming off that Henry McKenna, which was very bitey, and that might be part of it. But for me, forward is a little bit flat. The beginning part of the flavor profile was a little flat, kind of flatlined, and took a minute for it to kick in. Once it did, it just started pulsing flavors. So immediately it went to a fruitiness, then a fruit, then a jam, then a caramel, and then some oakiness kind of pushing into that finish. Very pleasant oak, very light touch with it. Not very bitey at all. I'm going to go in again and see if maybe having rinsed my mouth with this the first time, I can pick more of it. It's starting to get a little bit of peanut in the glass now. Second sip, again, a little flat up front. There's something going on, but I'm not quite sure what. A little like creme brulee sweetness, crystallized brown sugar in there. Moves into a nice fruit, kind of a sweet caramel in there. And then pushes into a finish with like a nice oaky barrel black peppery spice with a real sweet like oh, what the heck, I'm drawing a blank on the name of that candy, but it's like a caramel on a stick. I want to say like Sugar Daddy or something, but it's like a caramel stick. Kind of has that flavor where it's a little bit milky and sweet. Mm. The flavor is switching up on me from sip to sip. Um, but it's hitting, and it is hitting all of the notes that I found in the nosing profile, which is really nice. They're not like matching up. Like these are the notes that I smell, and then those notes immediately hit off in the same direction in the flavor profile. But I am like all the notes that I found in the nose, I have found in the 2 sips that I've taken. Um, and man, I'd love to see let this sit here for 10 minutes and really open up. Getting really dense caramel right now in that nose with fruit on the backside of it. Like just a little hint of ripe, like Honeycrisp apple in there. Last sip. Okay, that time, there we go. That sip, flavor profile hit up. There was no flat spot in it to start with. It hit me right away with a honeyed apple up front into a really nice, dense and heavy creamed caramel in the middle. And then following that was a nice, uh, jellied, jammed raspberry note. Maybe a strawberry mix in there. And then it went a little bready on me. Um, like, those Girl Scout cookies, like those shortbread cookie, kind of almost like an Irish whiskey, gives you that shortbread cookie note. Kind of got a little bit of that as it finished out. Um, all right, I'm sold. Worth every penny. Glad I took the effort to track this down. Drove a couple 100 miles for it. Totally worth it. Thank you again, Porter, for picking it up for me, doing the hard work. Greatly appreciate that. Um, yeah, that is just an excellent whiskey. This one's going to hold a special spot in the collection. Might be tucked way back in the shelf there somewhere. Um, and I'm really going to enjoy this one for sure. Next up, we are going to do the batch 6. And once again, I'll read through the whiskeys. A fair bit younger amount of whiskey in there, so keep that in mind. So again, found this batch 5 Remus Repeal Reserve for $119.95 in Montana. Drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle for in your area if you are so fortunate as to be able to find a bottle. Also, feel free to drop in there the price on the batch 6, which is a bit more readily available since that is this year's release. And any other comments you have regarding your experience with the Remus Repeal lineup. Check out Life and Whiskey on Bitchute and Rumble. And if you're watching this currently on YouTube, go ahead, hop over there, jump onto that. Going to be paying more attention over there. But if you don't, I'll still appreciate you on YouTube for the time being. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. Videos are dropping Wednesdays and Saturdays on BitChute, and hopefully same thing will be happening on Rumble and then on YouTube on Saturdays only. So thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day. We'll catch you in the next video.